What did I say? What did I say, fam? I told man that Amram is going to get a rude awakening against Aston Villa. And now, blood, Aston Villa, man, have just did what they had to do yet against Manchester United, man. I knew that Amram was going to get a rude awakening against, Aston Villa because of the way that he sets up the team. It's I don't, and I tell you what, man, Aston Villa, man, fair play. Because now Aston Villa, blood, man, have 10 consecutive wins now, I think, or around that. And fam, like, because the reason why I say fair play is because Aston Villa, man, in the beginning of the season, were nowhere to be seen, blood, before Christmas. And now they are 1 point behind Man City and 3 points behind Arsenal now. They are in a title race if they continue, man, this run of form. Like, even though that Emery, in the interview, he said that they are not in a title race, like that. And now, obviously, man, like the title, man, is not obviously it's not 1 year in December, blood, like that. And but it just tells you that if you have a competent manager, blood, that the player, and then you have a competent manager that knows the players well, that can set up the team, that can get the best out of the players, like he can manage the right way. He knows how to he knows how to he has the know-how to know how to get results. That's what you get, blood. You climb up the table, but Ammerman is a total opposite. Look, at this point, man, I'm just tired, blood. I'm just tired. And I know you, man, are gonna be like, like you just tired, man, of hearing the same thing over and over, blood. I mean, it looks like me, I'm just like a broken DVD now. Because everything here that I've said here for a minute, man, in the previous videos, right, about this manager, man, from the tactics and the system and then how he managed the player, it tells you everything you need to know. And this is what you get here from Amram. And I've been saying this again and again and again and again. And then you see Mania coming up with so much was in the videos, and the thing about it is that you can't even see. Some people can't even look. Bare man can't even look past Man United. And this is why, man, that I'm like, his system. It looks like as if that his system only works against Wolves, blood. That's how it looks like. Now a lot of men out there are gonna be like, this Man United fan base are gonna say that, oh man, it's because Bruno Fernandes, man, was injured. That's why we lost. But we'll blindly do not even dig it deeper into the context here of how we lost this game. Like the way, man, like we have lost, man, in the previous games before against Bournemouth, Wolves. Like even though that year we even though that year we won, why did we concede against Wolves, blood? It's all because of how the manager sets up the team. I mean, and I'm like, how have you, man, even, what match were you watching? This is what I mean, I often say. Who scored first? Who conceded first? Now, Bearman are going to go on to Lenny Euro because of his side. Because who you're at the moment, look, we don't care if he's young, and the fact that, he's learning. That is fine. Because now the players, including Lenny Euro on the, on, especially like, Luke Shaw on left centre back, Haven at centre back, and also right back here with Lenny Euro. Obviously, for they could have done better. I totally agree with that. They could have done better, blood. And like he could have, like Lenny Euro, he could have been tighter. He could have stuck out a leg for a deflection. Couldn't make it difficult for them to cut inside. from a stronger foot, Roger. But when you have such a system like what Amram have set up, what do you do? What do you do? But I've said this before, man, that, the problem is the system. The problem is the defense. The problem is the system that caters the defense. The system is what structure the defense, the midfield, and the attack, including with the number 10s. And then where's it coming from? It's coming from the manager, blood. And man, will blame players, but yet they will blame the players. They will blame the players, blood. My days, man. We're just too easy to play against. And like I said before, man, for a minute in my previous videos, and I've said this, you play 5 at the back, and yet you allow man to score. Now look, the thing about it is that me, now that, now I thought this came to me just now, because every time that Amram has a chance, man, to bring in players from the substitutes, mainly, most of the time, it's defenders. Now, I'm kind of thinking that I would love to know the stats of how many defenders, were on the pitch in this one game. I would love to know, because no matter how much he put them on the pitch, we still concede. Now, what is the point of even bringing defensive players on in the first place? I just don't get it. I don't get it. This is the reason why, man, that I never got gassed here of any of the performances and the games, man, that we won of this team since, man, I've done these videos, blood. It's all for you to see. And bare man will be like, yeah, but you have to be great that we scored, or that we drew, but never still you think, like I said, about the context of how we got to the assist, how we got to the goals. Football is a very simple game. I said this in the previous video, that football is a simple game, but managers like this terrorist, the poetic terrorist, the poetic terrorist will make it so difficult, blood. I don't know what to really say. I don't know what to really say. Now, if we had 4 at the back, because we have been hearing that he did 4 at the back in the previous game, during the game, I think that we could have defended quite well, but the problem is Amram yet again, because I don't think he knows how to structure a rebus 4 at the back. Like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I don't think, man, that he knows, man, how to do that kind of rebus. And that's why he always go for 3 at the back, 5 at the back. And Morgan Rogers, blood. Fam, take a bow, fam. Big man thing, take a bow, blood. Both goals, and he wrapped it. And the thing about it is that he wrapped it. He wrapped the same goal twice. The guy's on a mission, blood. And not even that. Aston Villa, man, they didn't have to play well to beat us. That's how bad Man United was. And people don't see this. We said about the reason why that we are on Amram is because of the consistency. You cannot take what you did in this game and bring it, man, to the next game. And the next game is against what? Newcastle at home. And you know what? I don't care if we're at home. That defense is leaky, blood. And we know that Newcastle ain't good away, but Man United are gifting wins to teams that don't deserve to even beat us at home. And don't forget, at home, Old Trafford is not a fortress anymore, blood. It's not. Unai Emery, man, yeah, in that game, yeah, against us, Man United, man, got his tactics spot on. Got his tactics spot on because he exposed the three at the back. He exposed it. The space here between, I think Dalot was at right wing back, and then I think it was Euro at right centre back, and then on the other side we had Luke Shaw and then Dogu at left wing back, and then Shaw at left centre back. You know what he did? He exposed, man, that space here behind the left wing back, and also on the right here of Euro, and on the left, man, here of Luke Shaw. What he did, man, he daggered the ball to that space. That's the reason why, man, that Rodgers was able to cut inside, make it difficult, man, to Lenny Euro, and then he managed, man, to wrap that twice. If this was four at the back, if it would have been, that problem would have been taken care of, because Dalot would have. The thing about it is that when you have left centre backs and when you have right centre backs, right? What happens is that, and then here is where my man Dalot is. There is a space in behind. So what's happening is that when Dogu and Dalot are coming from an attack, the left centre back and the right centre back is exposed already, blood. Because now Euro and Luke Shaw, if the ball was daggered into that space, they got a lot to cover. So what happened is that when somebody here from Aston Villa has the ball to cut inside, Euro here has to come tight. But you know what happened? There is a space right behind Euro already when he comes to. And then same thing for Shaw. And Haven cannot, man, even help Euro, or can't help about the centre back. But yeah, can't even help Luke Shaw, because you know why? If he leaves his spot, there's a huge gap, and then Le Mans is exposed already. Leaving acres of space. I mean, like, I don't know, but how comes man like me, man, can see this? And that's what happened. The ball got daggered, man, to Euro side. And that's why Rodgers was able to cut inside and then and you wrapped it. Lemon's got wrapped, blood. Especially, man, like how, man, you can put up, Man United, another deficiency, putting the ball, man, right through the middle, and then Man United, man, is cut open. He was four at the back, right? Dalot, who'll be right back, and Euro, who'll be right centre back, would have taken care of that space there. Like that. But since that is three at the back, or let's say five, where the left wing back has to go back and forth. As I said before, when they're down there, there's a huge space, and then they're vulnerable already. And now the left centre back not only have to take care of the right centre back role and Luke Shaw with the left centre back, they also have to cover the right back, and then Luke Shaw also have to cover the left back. And some might say, wait, but isn't that what Dogu and my man Dalot meant to do? Yes, but what about if they're coming from an attack? The space is really exposed. That's what happened in this game. The players, man, were. That's the thing, man. The way Amram does it and the way he sets up is like the players, man, were doing anyhow. But what they're meant to be doing here is by playing here by their strengths, blood. And I've said this for a minute, that, when it comes to like Cunha, Shesko, and in Bremer, you bring the best out of those players. Elevate them to how they were previously, because it looked like as if the team that they were before, they were much better. When they come to Man United, especially with Amram, it makes it worse. Instead of the system benefiting the players, or the system is meant to be built around the profile of players, but instead what he does is that it is like the players have to learn the system. And what is even much more worse, blood, is that putting the players that are not built structurally for your system, or putting them in the wrong positions in the system, making it 5 times worse, blood. I just don't get it. And also another thing as well, and I was thinking about this when Bruno Fernandes here came off with that hamstring injury, because I knew it that the system is catered around your Bruno Fernandes. The game, the way that Amram structure is always going through one player. And I was like, wait a second. If he is off, what is plan B? Or if you have one, blood, what is plan B? I was thinking this. I was like, wait a second. What's plan B? No, I would have been like, because the plan B could have been like, okay, let's play through Cunha now, because he's the maverick. He was trying to make things happen. Even he scored after when Dugu tackled the player, and Cunha scored right after when Morgan Rogers scored the first goal around the 45th, around the stoppage time. That's when Cunha scored. Play it through him. Even though that Cunha was trying to make this happen, he missed a sitter, the header. And this one as well, I saw this somewhere. I heard it from somewhere that Luke Shaw had the most touches here in some parts of the first half. This is not meant to happen. That is contradictory football, blood. How can you how does Luke Shaw get most touches? How? This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying before, is that Amber makes the game so difficult, even though it's meant to be simple. And the thing about it is this, right? Make defenders be defenders and make midfielders be midfielders. But do you know what he does? He make defenders be midfielders. I cannot wrap that through my head. My footballing brain cannot comprehend that. Yes, ball playing defenders, I understand that, but this isn't new. Back in when Bruno Fernandes, Nemanja Vidic, John Terry, Carvalho, these men are ball playing defenders back in the early 2000s. This ain't new. Your important players on the pitch are meant to be the one that meant to have the more touches in the game. Like your playmaking players like the number 10s or the midfielders, because they're the ones that dictate the game. And then now, not knowing that, mysteriously Menu has an injury after that his brother did the t-shirt. I don't know, fam, if Menu slipped up his half brother's shirt, that's where he got injured. I don't know, fam. I mean, it's like what happened when Rashford all of a sudden had this injury before and then went to Aston Villa on loan. And now, man, we have Menu. And now, we've been hearing news that actually Man United are blocking transfers for Menu just because Bruno Fernandes, Mr. Spamming, is injured. Good, because this man doesn't like ballers. Doesn't like ballers whatsoever. I think he knows that this system doesn't work, because that's the reason why he's always bringing defenders, and then we're not like he's keep on leaking goals after goals after goals. You know, Martinez came off for Bruno Fernandes, or the young players like Jack Fletcher beside him, and he played a lot better. In that midfield. It's just because, Jack Fletcher's positioning man fit the system, but still, that final push, it wasn't there. We want clinical. This happens almost every week, so, and then, even though, man, that we lost the game, man, I think Martinez played well. I think Xerxes played well when he came on. Connecting in transitions with Cunha and Mount. In spells. But like I said, man, we weren't clinical. Cunha doing his thing, like I said before. Because that because in Bremer and Ahmed isn't there. They're on international duty of AFCON, right? Now he's taking the mantle. And not even that, man. Like, he has the ability, so I'm not surprised that he's doing what he's doing. But like I said before, like, if Bruno Fernandes, man, isn't there, man, play your system through Cunha, or play it through somebody, man, that can take the game or scruff off his horns, man, and and do something. And I knew this was gonna happen. With this manager, right? No, even this one. I agree with Sir Alex, because I saw it somewhere in an article that he said that the way it's happening at the moment, it will take decades here for Man United, man, to win a title. I agree with that. Not like what Amram and Ineos are saying, that it's gonna take a couple of years. Less of that, blood. Absolutely less of that. And then with this manager, man, like, we're going to win games. I mean, let's keep it a buck, but it's not gonna be that consistent thing that we want. Consistency, man, is vital. People don't understand that. People just don't understand that. I don't know why man don't understand that. This Man United fan base, they don't understand it. What consistency mean. We're gonna win games, but it's gonna be like 2-1s or 3-2s. Not like in a row, like consecutively, like 10 and 10, like what Aston Villa are doing. That's why I never got gassed it when we went 3 in a row, because this club, anyway, this manager, they're not consistent. Like I said before, man, everything is all in the eye test. If you're consistent, then sick. Now, Aston Villa, their midfield have been class. Strength, power, workhorse. But do you know what else they had? Tech. See, and I've said this, like, our next game is against Newcastle at home, right? And then we go an easy fixture run, which is Wolves at home, and Leeds away. Oh my days. Oh my word. And then we got Burnley away. Wolves, we could win it. Like that, we could win it. But I don't like, like I said, our defense. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know, blood. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Anyways, now for me, them way there, I won't be able to cover the Newcastle and Wolves game, as I'll be traveling. But I'll be back here for the games against either Leeds or Burnley to cover the match reaction, like that. But I have no hope. I mean, Wolves, cool. Newcastle, oh my days. Leeds, oh man. And Burnley, okay. But as of this video, I don't know how long Bruno Fernandes is going to be out, like that. And the reason why I'm saying that, even though that like I said before, man, like, even though I don't like the way that this team is structured, or the way that Bruno Fernandes play and his play style and everything like that, because of the way that Amram plays, he needs Bruno Fernandes. And like I said, man, I'll always give credit, man, to players that do well. Like that. But like I said, man, I'm an old school mandem, like that, man. Like, appreciate consistency. Appreciate if the system works, because if you got a system, things will be automatic. Things will work faster. But then if you haven't got a system, and then you're making the players second guess, there's no consistency, and there's no quick passing to get towards goal, to score the goal. Players are thinking as they're going on. Nah, blood. Nah. Because the thing about it is that there's no expectations. There's no expectations, you know. It's on the floor. But like I said, man, for me, I have no expectations, man, yeah, for this team. You know, but you want them to do well. You know, like I said, all right, now if we win against Newcastle and Wolves, good, but I'm not gonna get all giddy and gas, you know, like that. Move on to the next game, because how can Man U defend this? The Man United face Man U defend this. They defend this Man U with a blindfold, you know, and this man is the worst manager in Man United history. That is the truth. You know, there was no backing with Mourinho, Oli from the fans like the way it is right now. It is like he's been protected, Amram, so he doesn't get the backlash of how bad he's setting up the team. But this Man United fan base, man, will back this filth. Will back this filth, blood. Every game, man, it's like a cup final for man. Set up the team here set up the team here with PTSD, light up here like a candle. This is what I mean, blood. It just, nah, man. I have no expectations, blood. I have no expectations.